Hey, Brandon here. Welcome back to another episode of the 2023 NFL Draft Rookie Report. For today's show, we are going to talk about USC wide receiver Jordan Addison. We're going to discuss his film. We're going to discuss his potential draft capital, as well as discuss his future dynasty value. Our goal of this show is to provide you with an in-depth profile of next year's 2023 rookie. So welcome and thank you for tuning in. Hit that subscribe button. We're going to be talking about every rookie that is eligible to hit our dynasty rosters this time next year. So be sure to hit that subscribe button. So Jason DiRienzo, my co-host, he is a recent graduate of the Scouting Academy. Jason, welcome. Are you ready to get started?
Oh, I'm ready, buddy. Let's do this.
Yeah, so we want to talk about Jordan Addison. He's going to be an exciting prospect. He's, probably a wide receiver that's, one or two or three in most scouts, lists right now heading to the draft next year. He's 6 foot, 175 pounds on the season. Through week 8, he did get injured in week 8, but through week 8, he had 39 receptions, 585 yards, and 7 TDs. So at the end of this film, I'm going to provide a link to all of his receptions, and he did have a couple sweeps and runs out of the backfield. Will be at the end of this show. So after you hear us talk about him and discuss his profile, you'll be able to then go look. And I made a scouting film for him and put it on this channel as well. So it'll be great. You'll get to hear our thoughts and then go right into watching his film. So we're going to start off the show here. We talk about some PFF stats here, his 2022 stats. This is through week 8. Snap location, 25% out of the slot. He's 75% out wide, so that's good. That provides a little versatility. He can play both positions. His catch percentage, 75%. Yards per reception, 15. That's nice. That shows he's got a little explosion. He's can win vertically down the field. His average depth of target is 11.7. Not bad for receiver. Probably average with most guys in college right now. And his yards after catch per reception is 7.7. So it shows there that he's got a little bit of, ability with the ball in his hands after the catch. So Jason, any thoughts on these stats before we get to the scouting report?
The stats just kind of lie within what I saw in film. The yards after the catch, the A dot, it all kind of makes sense with him lining up out wide in the slot. So the versatility is definitely key to what these stats are telling us.
Great. So we're going to get into his scouting report. Okay. And I break these down. We talk about these per trait, and let's talk about his release and route running, right? I think that's going to be his bread and butter, obviously, for any wide receiver to be successful and make it to our dynasty rosters. But I liked what I saw from a route running standpoint. I thought he got off the line pretty quick, didn't face a ton of press. Sometimes when he was outside, he did, but I liked his defensive manipulation. I liked how he worked the zones. I saw defensive manipulation even when he was working in zone coverage, trying to create the necessary angles to get open in the secondary. I think he can win short, intermediate, and long. He had a couple of nice vertical plays as well. So what was your thought process? Again, we watched every reception he had through week 8 here in 2022. Did what I say, does that correspond with what you think you saw?
Yeah, I think we're in agreement here. I really like the how quick he was off the line of scrimmage. Just really knew how to kind of get into the cushion and make DBs uncomfortable because it was very hard to understand which direction he was going to go. He's so fluid with how he flips his hips and really just his agility. He can instantly change direction and you don't even know he's doing it. And I really liked what I saw with him in the middle of the field as well. Once he got into the second level, his route running is definitely going to be key to his success at the next level, I think.
Yeah, I agree. Especially at that size, he's going to need to be very shifty and creative, and you got to manipulate defenders, right? So acceleration and speed, right? That's another hallmark of a successful wide receiver hitting our dynasty rosters. I mean, here in my notes here, he had excellent acceleration, good change of direction skills. I thought he had really good start stop ability. I think he has a long speed to be successful. He's not a burner who I think is going to take the top off defenses, but I don't think his speed is a liability either. So I'm going to give him like an above average grade, I guess, for acceleration and speed, but certainly I think he's got the acceleration, burst, and second level speed to be successful.
Yeah, that instant acceleration is really what helps him out. If he's going to be playing at the next level, he's probably going to be lined up right off the line of scrimmage to give him that space he needs because he could really execute a nice speed release if he's playing out wide. In the slot, I mean, he'll just be dominant with the way he moves and how, manipulative he is. So I really like what I saw from him as far as the acceleration and speed. I think that's going to be kind of like his bread and butter as far as how he's going to get available to a quarterback.
Yeah, so as far as his ball skills and hands, whether it's vertical down the field, contested catch, or just on out routes and stuff. I mean, he had, like we talked about here, he had a 75% catch rate. He did have some
Mhm.
concentration drops, but I really liked his ball skills. I don't think he's going to be that physical receiver that's going
No.
to be dominant at some sort of contested catch. When he's in traffic going up and fighting for the ball, but that's not going to be his game, I think, at the NFL. I think it's going to be more him getting space created for him to a certain degree. So I don't think he's going to be that physical receiver that's going to be able to dominate at the catch point for errant balls and goes up and get. But he's got good hands. I like the way he catches the ball. He doesn't have the biggest length with his arms. It doesn't seem like,
Mhm.
but I like his aggressiveness to go get the ball.
Yeah, the aggressiveness, I'm glad you just said that. I saw that too, and he knows how to position himself in front of DBs in order to be at the catch point on time and not allow a defender to kind of knock him off his route. So he knows how to get inside leverage, and he can stack very well too. He just kind of knows how to kind of change his torso rotation and just get to the perimeter and use that speed to get past the defender. And I think that is going to help him a lot too. There's many aspects to his game that I think are going to help him excel. The aggressiveness, it's there. He just doesn't have the play strength to go with it, unfortunately.
Yeah, exactly. Now his yards after the catch kind of correlates with speed a little bit, but I liked what I saw. I liked how he ran to the open
Mhm.
space. I liked did seem to see DBs in his future running down the field and was able to manipulate them. Like I said, I don't think he's got that elite speed, but I think he's going to be a good yak receiver at the NFL level. I think he's got the ability, like you said earlier, he's got that explosiveness. As soon as he caught the ball, I loved how he immediately turned up field on a
Yeah.
lot of receptions and accelerated to get, even if it was 5, 6, 7 extra yards. He wasn't, and I like this physicality too at the contact point of when he was getting tackled. I watched a lot of receivers, as you know, in college football. When we talk about physicality, we're going to talk about here in a little bit. So, what'd you think of his yards after the catch ability?
Yeah, I think that's going to be great for him. He has that acceleration that we keep discussing, and that's huge. He's also a creator. I like that he can identify, exactly where to go once he has the ball in his hands. His mental processing is pretty quick as far as identifying defender pursuit angles, and he knows how to exploit them. That's huge as well. So I think at the next level, Yak, that is going to be key for what we want to see in fantasy because he's going to gain those yards.
hmm Now, is physicality and play strength something that you and we talk about? We both believe, I think we're on the same page when it comes to success at the NFL level, regardless of how big and tall or small you are, you have to have the physicality and play
Mhm.
strength. I would give him an average grade, I think, for this, maybe a little above average. I don't think he's going to be a guy who wins with his strength, given his small stature, but I think he does play a little bigger than his size, given his 6 foot, 175 pounds. But like I said, I don't think he's going to win in those real physical situations. I think he's going to need to win in the NFL through space creation versus physicality.
Yeah, I agree with you. He's not just going to give up. Like he's going to play as hard as he possibly can and try to do what he can to gain additional yards and fight off contact. But he's got such a weird frame at 6 foot, like 174, 175, that he's kind of limited to what he can do within the play strength area.
So is there what out of his profiles or anything, right now he's projected as a day one guy. Some right now, here we are, beginning of November. So people are projecting him to be possibly the number one guy taken in the draft. I mean, any blemishes on his profile that you can see that would prevent him, other than maybe his size and play strength, which I think we've kind of mentioned a couple times, that would prevent him from maybe dropping in the first round unexpectedly?
I think he is a first round, receiver based on what we've seen in the past. And the NFL is going to, I mean, this guy's been productive for years, no matter
Yeah.
what team he's on. He's the Blitnikoff Award winner. So that's going to
Right.
go a long way. I do have concerns that he's just a complimentary type wide receiver too at the next level. I just don't, I don't know. We talked about it last week. The 185 and under kind of bothers me because we're
Mhm.
doing this as far as fantasy. I'm not a general manager looking to just add weapons to my roster. Like I need fantasy points. That's where I think the limitation is going to come in. I don't know if he's going to be that guy, but he could be a nice PPR guy because of his versatility playing out wide or in the slot.
Yeah, so his NFL draft capital, we both expect him to be round one. Where he goes and
Hmm.
falls, I don't think he's getting out of the first
I
round.
don't think
Yeah.
so either.
So
Yeah.
from a rookie draft selection, assuming he gets a juicy landing spot, probably even if he doesn't get the best landing spot, just given his draft capital, I expect him to be a round one rookie pick next year?
If he's going in round 1 of the NFL draft, he'll be round 1 rookie
Right.
pick for sure. Yeah.
So overall, again, looking at his fantasy value ceiling, this time next year, he'll be a rookie halfway through his NFL season. Let's kind of put on the projection here where we could see him being. Do you think he could end up as a rookie? And I know there's a lot of uncertainty, but again, we're just having fun with this,
Yeah.
like a wide receiver 3. I agree with you. I think he's a complementary piece to a existing team that has an alpha already.
Mhm.
We're going to talk about player comp here in just a second, but I'm looking at him as potentially a wide receiver 3/4 come, at the end of next season. Would you think that that's what his maybe floor would be or ceiling?
Yeah, I think the floor for me, I mean, I agree with you, wide receiver 3, possibly wide receiver 2 upside because, man,
Mhm.
he's very intelligent
Yeah.
within how he runs routes and everything, and that's something I fall in love with, and I can't overlook that regardless if I don't think he has that play strength to kind of fight off, but yeah, I'm with you. Wide receiver 3, I feel comfortable with.
Now, as far as a player comp, we like to do this as part of the show as well. We will give you an existing fantasy player on our Dynasty roster. My player comp for him was my guy, Devonta Smith from Philadelphia. He's 6 foot, 171 pounds. He's kind of got the same frame, and I kind of see him maybe taking the same trajectory as far as fantasy value is Devonta Smith, right? His first
Mhm.
year, he was the number 1 guy here for the Eagles, but now that he's got AJ Brown, he's kind of flourishing a little bit, having that other big body receiver. I kind of feel as though that's the path that he could take on a dynasty rosters. What are your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I actually do like that, and I think a lot of what I saw on film reflects, what Devonta Smith was able to do. I playing behind the line a little bit more. The roles were a little bit different, but that was just how Devonta Smith played at Alabama. I saw a little bit of Darnell Mooney, just the way he's manipulative within his routes. I think Darnell Mooney's very intelligent,
I like
and
that.
he's kind of that, that co wide receiver type where he's not the main guy, and that's kind of the role I could see for Jordan Addison at the next level.
Yeah, well, I guess with Chase Claypool now as a Bear, right? I think
Yeah, right.
could see Mooney do a little better. He's been a little bit of a disappointment this year. Let's not lose sight of that, right? I mean, last
Right.
year I think he was the guy. So 2 good player comps there. So all right, there you guys go. That is the show. I appreciate you tuning in. Again, hit that subscribe button. We're going to be talking about this with like every rookie. We're going to be going through this process. So again, thanks for watching.